All right, like, share, subscribe. Cash App $ Winston Spivey. So I want to talk about here Clifton Powell, great actor here. A lot of y'all probably know him from Peaky on Friday, the guy that ran the record store, the Jerry Curl, you know what I'm saying, the pink suit. And actually, I found out today on that role was supposed to have been played by a white man, and he ended up scoring the role there. But you can find this clip on Industry Secrets, man. They be bringing up a lot of stuff about a lot of these doggone celebrities and how they had to sell out, some of the things that they had to do to make it in prominence. And just like Terrence Howard, they did a video on him too on that channel. You know, he mentioned that he was blackballed because there's a lot of stuff that he's not going to do to get those kind of roles. Now, he didn't say any names, but he said that he knew of some people that were willing to either to do some sacrifice stuff or, you know what I'm saying, some four-letter community words stuff to get those roles. So they pretty much were like down for whatever. In other words, androgynous, I'd say, where they try to pretend to be like that and they're really not, okay? Smooth it over by having a wife and children or husband and children and that kind of stuff, all right? But it said that he started out pretty, you know, good and all that, that he was able to get, you know, this and that role for different roles. And he was, you know, he's a very versatile actor, because I remember he was doing a role of him being a preacher at the church on BET. And I've seen some episodes or whatever. That was pretty good show. They had some pretty nice looking women on there, you know. But yeah, dude is a very, very talented actor, you know, where I always thought that he was a comedian, and he still gets a lot of props from a lot of people. But he did mention this. He said, look, you know what? You could pay me $50 million a day. But he said there's certain things that I'm not doing. You know, he's not bending over. He ain't wearing no dress. You know, this and that. So, you know, despite the money and maybe, you know, getting flowers and getting, I don't know, making up certain ranks and things like that, then he said that he would not compromise, you know, his integrity. So, you know, I think, in my personal opinion, he's done the right thing. Because look what's happening to all these doggone celebrities anyway. The industry's getting a lot smaller with social media. You got the streaming and things of that nature. People ain't going to the movies traditionally like they did before. You know, that kind of thing. Netflix, you got all these different channels that are promoting movies. So there's all these different really avenues of just taking that traditional route through, quote unquote, the doors. Okay? But, hey, this is what he mentioned, you know, that, hey, I think that he's, you know, maybe a little disappointed that he was passed over for a lot of those roles and things that nature that he could have gotten, you know. But hey, he said, hey, these things, they happen for a reason. So yeah, you know, they basically stated that incessantly on the video. It was like a 20-something minute video, and yeah, that's, you know, pretty much it, you know. But all in all, I want to say this. You don't necessarily have to take, you know, that route, you know, through the doors to become, you're like a, I don't know, a Grammy winner and all that other stuff, this and that. You know, you can get good roles and things of that nature. I understood that he was getting paid, let's say if he was making a movie, he was getting paid $10,000 a day, okay? So let's say if it took like 2-3 months making a movie, that's how much he was getting. Okay, so he's like, hey, you know, I ain't complaining, that's good money. But, you know, you don't necessarily have to and he's all like, you know, you can play the roles that I get. And he said he was somewhat in the middle between the top echelon and the bottom echelon, okay? And it's kind of like a thing, if you're gonna have the talent, they're gonna see you, okay? They're gonna find you anyway. If you can help, you know, sell movie tickets or TV, you know, show ratings, they're gonna find you regardless, okay? Without taking no doggone, you know, the doors route. And that's just, you know, my take on it. So yeah, all in all, I think that he's had a good career. He's like in his 60s now, okay? And I think that he's still not limited to maybe great roles on family shows and that kind of thing, any type of drama. You know, he'll probably end up playing some older examples or whatever. But, you know, I believe that, you know, he's hard working, he's still relevant, okay? So I'm pretty sure you'll see this guy around. So let me know what you think. I appreciate, you know, your time. I hope you enjoyed the video. And hey, more content coming.